Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Matt and Dan, Coffee and Questions, where we answer your live streaming questions. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning. Dan, how's it going?
I'm doing just great. I am setting up a multi-view that I thought was set up, but it was not. All
Oh,
right.
so
I'm doing
last,
super
yeah.
great right now.
Oh, good,
All
good.
done.
I'm sleepy. I had part of last week off, and I'm coming off a little vacation and stayed up too late some nights, and now I'm paying the
I
price
mean, was
today.
it fun? Was it worth it
Happy
though?
Monday. Yeah. I went to this event called the Chop Top Challenge, where I helped with registration. A friend puts it on. It sounds weird. They chopped the top of the cars, windshield included, all windows, and they drove from Louisville all the way to Key West. It was a race, but they also had to like do challenges along the way to collect
That's
points.
really cool.
Yeah, either way, I just did the registration and it was fun. I got to watch people cut the top of their cars off, and
Wait,
that was weird.
you said windshield too?
Yeah, the entire top of the car, like windshield up,
Okay.
it's gone. So
Your questions are gonna have to wait. Everyone else's questions are gonna have to wait for a little bit. I need to know more about this. I didn't hear about this before.
okay, so it's all across the U.S. right now. Maybe growing bigger eventually, but he is the president, the current president, and they have a couple major events and then a couple smaller events throughout the year where they have these races, but there's also challenges they have to complete along the way, like go through a car wash.
Is it like an old movie that had something to do with this? Like,
I have no idea.
oh, and they're going through car washes without a top
Yeah.
on their car. Yikes.
Yeah, well, yeah, you want to get the points, Dan. Come on.
Okay.
So anyways, that's what I did this past week, at least part of the time. It's Monday. Happy spring for those of you in this hemisphere. Everywhere else, sorry, it's gonna be cold soon.
We've had our cold. It's your turn.
Yeah. Now it's our turn to get warm. I was just looking at some Facebook memories, and I guess it snowed here a lot a few years ago, and I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
I saw a Facebook memory come through on my Facebook, obviously,
On your,
and it was talking about my NCAA tournament bracket from a few years ago and how terrible it was. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure mine now is even worse. So
I don't think anyone has a good bracket.
Cannonball. That's definitely what it was called. Yeah.
Cannonball. Okay, that sounds
like a super old movie that was like super fun.
Thank you. There you go. Thanks, Chicago Bears. Yeah. 360. Hey, if you're just joining us, hello, Asia. Ask your questions. We'd love to answer them. Dan and I do this every Monday. We alternate between the main Facebook page here and our enthusiast group. The enthusiast group is just for kind of more experienced users, kind of can show off your live streams, ask some pretty I'll just call them kind of crazy questions, very like technical questions.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, we'll be on YouTube every week as well. So for those of you joining us on YouTube, hello, glad you're here. Yeah, Dan, you talked about having a stuffed up nose right before this, and now here I am talking. I feel like my nose
I'm sorry, it's like the placebo thing, or
maybe it is.
I say it and it just goes to everybody. Yeah, that's the Ohio Valley. It's really bad with allergies.
It really is.
Where we're located. So yeah, we had a couple fun days or warm days, and now we get the allergies.
The pollen's here. Hey, Dan, you want to talk a little bit about some of the fixes that we're working on?
Yeah, for sure. That is a big thing we've seen a lot in the Facebook groups and just around other places. Is I guess the first one was YouTube kind of streaming on after the event has ended. I believe the fix was completely identified. There was one fix put in place that kind of solved it for almost everybody, but I think a few other people were still running into the problem, and that's been identified, I believe, and the fix is going out today. So should be all set there.
And if it doesn't, if your YouTube stream, like we had this last week, Dan, ours didn't end. If your YouTube stream does not end, you're gonna have to go into YouTube and manually stop.
Yeah,
I know it's not.
It's
ideal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say you open your YouTube account, Creator Studio, and you can click on the live streams from there, and then you'll have to open like the stream deck and then end live stream. It's a couple more clicks, but it's not too bad. And yeah, we're that fix is coming out, so you should be all set there.
Yep, sometime today here. Awesome. I do have a question here on YouTube, Dan, from Lee Crawford.
Yeah.
Is there a way to address all the buffering that goes on during live Facebook sessions?
That is a good question. And it could be a lot of different things. Most notably, if you see your live stream is buffering a whole bunch, it's probably the networking is having issue or having some trouble connecting all the videos from all the different angles and then passing them out. So the first place to check is your internet connection. What is your upload speed? That's the most important thing when going live. And if you check it and you get maybe 5 megabits per second upload speed and you're trying to do like a 1080p stream, that might be too much bandwidth for it. So try dropping the quality down. Honestly, like if I don't have at least 8 to 10, I'm not even doing a 720p stream. Right now I have, I want to say 50 or 60 upload, and that's why we're able to stream at 1080p right now. That's like the number one issue. After that, I would go into how far apart are your cameras. Maybe the cameras need to be a little bit closer to so they can connect easier. But yeah, I would say 9 times out of 10, it's going to be that upload speed.
And I will mention also, like you mentioned, Dan, the dropping the quality of the stream down. Most of the people watching your live streams, I'm just assuming here, most people who watch live streams are watching on their phone. So the little bit of quality dropping down won't make a big difference for them. So I know a lot of people want to do it at the highest quality and the best settings, but typically like you're watching on a few inch screen. So that's not going to make much of a difference for your viewers. So just kind of keeping that in mind. Cool. Good question.
Yeah.
That was a very good question.
I like that one. Yeah. And that's something we've done full live streams. If you search, it might be, if you're in the Switcher Studio Enthusiast group, and this is probably on YouTube as well. If you go back to some of our older videos, there's one with the two of us and then Jared on our team, and he did a full deep dive into networking.
Yes. That was very helpful.
I don't know if any of our people watching can dig that up and put that in the comments somewhere, but that might be a little tough to find right now.
It's there somewhere. Just look for one with Jared. That's not us.
If you search Jared, it might come up. So yeah,
I hope so. Another question here on Facebook, Dan. It might be somewhat similar of an answer here. I had an issue with last stream where the broadcast was interrupted at 1 minute 15, and I stopped it and launched it again, and it worked for 2 more hours.
So a minute 15, okay, and I stopped it and launched it again. It worked for 2 more hours. Yeah, that could have just been like a quick network dropout. Maybe something happened and the internet dropped out. You probably got that error message, I'm assuming, that says connection closed by server, and you were prompted those 2 options if you wanted to continue recording or stop recording and broadcast. If you get that and you choose stop recording and broadcast and you go live again immediately, you're going to go straight to that same event that you had set up before, and you should be good to go. So yeah, that's been happening less and less frequently. We're seeing the stability be a lot better with the internet, as just networks get better across the country and across the globe. So yeah, that is another thing. Now, mind you, when you do that, the recording will be broken up and you might lose like 5 seconds in between while you're restarting the broadcast. And if that recording is more important than the live stream, choose that continue recording option. And just, keep recording through. The live stream, of course, will stop then, but you'll have a solid full-on recording.
Cool. All right. Here on Facebook, Dan, Felisha says, run a speed test and confirm we're good at 720. The light is green. Midway through broadcast, signal goes yellow and stream drops. Had done it 3 weeks straight. What are any suggestions there?
Yes, I can follow up with that. I don't know. Is this the same person or is this a different? I think this is a different person here.
Yep, different person.
Yeah, so that's good to know. Make sure that those speeds are constant. The next thing I would do is try and stream on a closed network if possible. Maybe you start streaming and nobody's connected to that network, but they come in and more people are on their cell phones, more people, there's just more devices bogging down that network. It can slow things up. So I would try asking
change your passwords.
Change the password, maybe not use an open network if possible. Those are the first things I would do, and check that out. Again,
I would also say, like if you're doing the speed test right before, that's great, awesome. But if you're doing a speed test like another time during the week where there isn't a lot of traffic wherever you are, your numbers are going to change. So just making sure you're doing it right beforehand. It seems like you are, but just a reminder for all of you, not to do a speed test on a Tuesday if you plan on live streaming on Sunday. Make sure you're doing it just beforehand. So Dan does about, I don't know, 1 million speed tests before we go live here.
My game plan, and I don't do it as much now since, we've done these weekly for a long time. And I know my internet's good and solid, but I still want to make sure. So a lot of times I will do a test stream for maybe 2 minutes beforehand, just to make sure everything's looking good. It's holding up for that. I'll do a speed test, and then, I'll set up my event. And then right before we go live, I do one more speed test just to double, triple, quadruple check everything. And then, you go live and start doing it.
Awesome. Question over here on YouTube real fast.
Yeah.
From Chicago Bears. How are you? This is an easy one. How are you broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook?
Okay.
You got it?
I saw an old one from the same user. So this is a new thing within Switcher. We call it multi-streaming, and it's available for everybody. You can do up to 2 different locations with your main Switcher accounts, and it's just an option within Switcher now. So
you want to show on your other iPad
I was
ready?
Say, would we like to see it?
Yeah,
absolutely. This was that multi-view I needed to set up. So and the outputs here, before you just have Facebook, YouTube. Now there's this multi-streaming down here. I don't have anything connected since this is my dev account here, so I don't even know if this is going to show up. Here we'll do create. So you can see like Facebook and YouTube right now are grayed out for me because I don't have anything connected. But you'll just be able to click on Facebook or tap Facebook or YouTube, choose whether it's the group, the page, your timeline, where it is, and same thing for YouTube. And then you're going to set it up exactly how you would any other event right here in Switcher, and then go live, and you're going to be going live to 2 different places.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Good question. Yeah, that's a pretty new feature. So some of you aren't aware. So surprise, it's here. All right. Question here. Oh, thanks, Bryant. Appreciate that. Question here from Jerome on Facebook. Good morning. Is there any way to post an in-stream poll? Because some is due back-to-back live streams. It's hard to do a poll prior to going live.
Is there any way to post an in-stream poll? So Facebook has polling. YouTube does not, but there's an integration within Switcher. Is that what I'm talking about, or am I thinking of something different?
Or do you mean like setting a pull up ahead of time? That's what I'm wondering. If you're doing back-to-back live streams.
So anyway, to post an in-stream poll. Oh, maybe like could you schedule it? Is that what we're talking about? Maybe.
I
don't know. Maybe we might be a little confused about the question. If you're looking to like be able to put out like a information about a live stream before you go live, check out scheduling your live streams. It's an option within really simply within Switcher here. I'll come back and show you. We'll come and actually no, I'm not connected, so this isn't going to work, is it? Basically when you go live or when you start setting up your live stream, there's that option for go live now or schedule. Check on scheduling it, see if that'll help, because then you can get that link and you can share it out. You can, embed it maybe if you wanted to do that on a website or something, all that good stuff. Share it out on social.
Awesome.
I hope that answers that. If not,
let us know.
Right back. Yeah.
Yep. Wilton, the fix is underway. It should be happening today. So
yes, it's being deployed.
Be on the lookout.
Everything for that. And that's we also noticed like there were a lot of people having issues on Sundays. And we did some finagling. We switched some things on our back end.
That's a good word for it.
I was actually thinking this is not the right word for it, but I can't think of the right word for it, so I'm just going to go for it and be confident about it.
I was actually thinking finagling as well, so I'm glad you.
Oh, okay, good. Well, there we go. So we did some switches after 2 weeks ago. So in this last week, we're monitoring it. We saw that the percentage of streams failing was much, much lower. So that should be all ready to go.
Awesome. Okay, moving down here on in Facebook, one from Marvin. Hey guys, cool deep voice math. Thank you. In the card asset, will there be a way to increase or decrease the size of the logo? Sometimes I use the logo as a scripture that I bring in, but cannot increase the size. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think you could, like, there's some ability to doing that, and I can show people what he's talking about here. If we come into cards, and we'll do maybe image as a background, so where we can do your logo up there. You know, you can like adjust the text. Like, this is something where we've kind of got it out there now, and it's something we can iterate on a little bit more. Like right now, it's just there, but
finagle, I think it's what you meant.
Yeah, I'm not going to hear the end of that one, am I, for a while? So yeah, right now I would say you could, in theory, make the image smaller on, like, in Photoshop or Canva or Pixlr if you have something like that, and then insert it there. But yeah, right now it's just that size of the logo is what's possible.
Definitely do a feature request. I think someone sent you the link for that, so probably Katie. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, I see people posting like, I'll just take a moment here and say, here's a few helpful tips for setting up your network. This is on our support center, our help center, which is support.switcherstudio.com. Like, most of this information we're telling you now is if we've gotten these questions before, or if we get these questions, we like to make articles about them. So there's a ton of information there. This is a really good one to go through. It'll help you kind of troubleshoot step by step the best way to mitigate issues with your live streams.
Cool. Let's see here. There was one I saw. I'm sorry, I was reading too much.
Here's that feature request. Again, anyone who has one.
Okay. Here's one from Martin. Can video chat come over Wi-Fi, or is it just cellular? This is on Facebook.
Found it.
Awesome. There you go.
Can video chat? Yes, it can be Wi-Fi or cellular. The video chat is now what we call remote guest. Video chat is basically the same thing. It's where you can send a link from within Switcher to a guest. They will join it. That can be used on anything. For instance, Matt right now is using a computer to connect to the video chat, and I think you have like a DSLR plugged into a capture card. So people ask a lot about how to get a DSLR into Switcher. There's a way to do it. You just need to have that DSLR show up as a camera or a webcam on your computer, and it can be a source or become a source through remote guest or video chat. So yeah, Wi-Fi or cellular, either one will work.
Okay,
Chris Strub here, just saying good morning. Yeah. Hi, Chris. You were like, I feel like Chris was out there doing, was at like the NCAA basketball tournament, watching some games or something. So, enjoy that.
Nice. And then Jerome kind of came back here and said, because it's hard to schedule polls, going back to the polls, when some of us do back to back live streams. Okay.
So is that talking about polls within Switcher?
Yeah.
So if you're doing like Facebook polling, and that's like the important thing, if you schedule those and create those events in advance, you can actually go into Facebook and you can create those polls ahead of time. So that is something you can do, and they will automatically show up within Switcher once you have them there. So I would go into like the Facebook Creator Studio. Find that live stream, click on the polling. And I don't really have a walkthrough because that's not something we've done a ton with. But it is something, maybe we can make a video or do a tutorial on how to create polls beforehand.
Yep. Gonna head over here to YouTube. Chicago Bears 360. If one or more of the available destinations on multi-stream is grayed out, is that a configuration issue?
This
means you're not connected, right? You haven't.
You'll just have to connect that destination. So like,
yep.
When you first stream to Facebook, for instance, you have to like log into Facebook. Same thing with YouTube. It's the same thing here as well. Just, make sure you're logged in, you have the correct account linked to it, and you'll be good to go. Cool questions.
All right. One here on Facebook from Bryant. My phone freezes while I'm live. I'm going back and forth with Jordan and Jared about how to fix it, but is this again a networking problem internally?
Where was this one?
On Facebook. Up a little ways.
Oh, I missed it then. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, here it is. Here we go. I think you're honestly doing the correct things right now and emailing support@switcherstudio.com and talking to Jared and Jordan. Those guys know a ton and are really good at helping you.
Very, very smart.
I would, just think about it and start taking steps back, like do each step. And you've probably heard a lot of these things already. The first thing I'm looking at is, okay, is my device up to date? Am I running the latest iOS? Yes. Okay. How's the internet and networking holding up? Do I have a good solid connection between them? If so, yes, then great. I'm going to say next, does it work when I move it closer? Maybe those devices are too far apart and the network's having trouble, and you might need like a Wi-Fi extender or something. So I would bring that device closer to the main switcher. Maybe bring both of them closer to the main router that's running the network. If that's not doing it, like, what is the device? Is it really old and maybe the hardware is having a tough time keeping up with stuff, especially if you're doing like a ton of movement? That could be causing the issue. Those are the places I would start, but it is a good question. I think you are doing the right thing, and Jordan and Jared probably have walked you through a lot of the same stuff, but might be a networking thing, could be something going on with the iPhone or iPad. So that's where I would start.
Great. Over here on YouTube from Bert, what are the best phones to use as Switcher Studio cameras?
So I would say use the best devices that your budget calls for. If you can get the newest devices, get them, because they're going to last a really long time. They're going to be supported by Apple for a really long time, because the last thing you want to do is get something like an iPhone 6S, which has a decent camera and looks really nice, and then find out that Apple's not going to be supporting it anymore, and it doesn't have the newest updates, and it might start struggling running Switcher over time as time goes on. So
those older Apple devices, they start to slow way down. I'm sure a lot of you who are using 8s and 7s can attest to that. But whatever your budget can afford. Dan, you currently are using a 13 Pro, but before that, you were using
a 10S.
10. Okay, I was going to say 10 Max, but that wasn't right.
Using this phone with a nice cracked back, it's funny, I have 3 phones or 4 phones with me right now. I have a 13 and 2 11s, 2 11 pluses that we use for productions, and then I have my iPhone 10, and the 10 is the phone I use as my cell phone and my personal device, and I've got these really fancy new ones. We're going to do a video on this in a live stream talking about the different devices, and Matt and I will set up, and we'll show you how they all look differently inside, outside. But really it's just looking at what your budget is, and don't be afraid to purchase something with a cracked screen. I know that sounds weird, to save yourself some money if you're looking to, like, it's still going to work. You're not really going to be touching it very much. As long as the camera is not cracked, you're going to be fine. So do what your budget can afford. Okay, sorry, I was talking and did not look for any more questions. Well, I'm looking through here. I see Chris was at the games. Good times. Oh, nice. I I don't know. I know, Chris, you're from one of the Carolinas or over that direction. I don't know if North Carolina, aren't they doing good right now?
Don't dox them.
I don't know. I think he posts enough on social
Yeah, I
about
think
that
you're
stuff.
right. I think you're right. I'm just kidding. Okay. I hope it was a good time. I've not followed any basketball at all, so it's not my jam. But I'm glad you all are enjoying it.
Pavel here, talking about a really, really important thing that I haven't mentioned with networking for those people. This is like the absolute number one thing you should do to try and help you out, and I will show you. Pavel, thank you for this. Pavel. Speaking of, I saw Pavel joined our Discord, Matt. If you, we'll talk about that in a sec, but I saw him hop in there, I think last night or something. Outputs tab in Switcher Studio, scroll down, and this Wi-Fi camera communication. Notice how mine says reinforced Wi-Fi mode. Yours might be in standard or low latency. Drop it down to reinforced. There's a slight delay between all the cameras, but they all sync up. Everything syncs up. It's just like if you're in the room with what's happening, it's just a little bit delayed. Seeing on Switcher, not a problem at all. It's really fine, but that just gives the network a little bit extra time to process all the data, process the video being sent around, and ship it out to the internet. So, absolutely, 100%. I recommend everybody who's out there, if you haven't switched to reinforced Wi-Fi mode, like open Switcher right now, switch it to reinforced Wi-Fi mode, try it, and if it I bet you'll get better results. And if you're okay with that little bit extra delay, which I feel like everyone should be, it's really not too bad.
No, it's not that. It's not going to be that long at all. And really, people aren't really going to notice, and you won't really notice either. Like as you're going live, you might have to wait. Like we're talking, and I'm seeing some answers for things we said a little bit earlier, but it's not anything that is causing huge issues. And is honestly that's better than losing your live stream completely.
Well, I mean, like it's not extra delayed onto YouTube or Facebook. It's just like the camera sees what it is and it's sending the data to the main switcher, and that switcher, we're just giving it a little bit extra time to process that data before we show it up. So like if I wave my hand in front of the camera here, I can tell you guys like my hand's waved now, and now you see it. Actually, it's probably real time there. So what am I saying? It's going to sync up because you guys don't even see. Yeah. Just do it. You reinforce Wi-Fi mode. Do it.
Dan, you mentioned our Discord and Pavel joining. I'm going to go ahead and post the link to our Discord in the chats here. Love for you to be a part of that community there. We're really just trying to help you all have better live streams, answering questions, showing off your setups. Dan and I will be doing some interview style live streams here in the next few weeks, hopefully, just kind of, again, being able to show off your stuff. So this is kind of like a few different ways for you to get suggestions, show off some great work, kind of brag a little bit, and that's okay. I'll accept that. And just really help others be better. So join those. I'd love to see you there. Join the conversation.
More questions. I see a couple through here I can talk through. Carlos is asking, are you able to see chats on YouTube and Facebook at the same time on your iPad? Yep, I am 100%. In the chat tab down here in Switcher, they're both popping up for me.
Do you want to do the thing where you hook up your phone? I don't,
because then it like resets the order of all the.
Oh, okay. Next time.
What did I have to do? I think it's just the chat tab's there. Yeah, the YouTube ones show up red, the Facebook ones show up blue. I think I said that right. They're all there for you.
Yep.
No problem whatsoever. And they do come in the chronological order, so like you'll see the blue and red in real time as they're coming through.
Awesome.
I see this one. Is there an auto toggle between iOS cameras? And there most certainly is.
Yep. No, don't do it. Don't,
excuse me. Don't. I just drank some coffee and it's like someone down the wrong pipe. There's the auto switch one down there. This one I don't have any other devices connected to, but it can switch between the cameras you have, and you can have it either go. I'm dying over here, Matt.
Come on, Dan.
100%. We're cured. No problems whatsoever. But yeah, so they will go through. You can have them go through chronological order: 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to the 9 camera sources, or you can add the shuffle if you wanted to, which is just gonna shuffle between the different camera angles, and then you can adjust the interval.
Yep.
So choose how long you want it to be on each camera shot before it switches. Good question.
There is another one here on YouTube from Bert. When multi-streaming, can you pick 720 to Facebook and 1080 to YouTube? That's a good
no,
question.
it's one for everything. So, yeah. But that being said, you're only using that one connection to stream from. So like that is a common misconception with multi-streaming is, okay, well, since I'm sending 2 streams, I need extra bandwidth on my internet to stream with. And that's not the case. We're just sending one stream out to our servers, and that server is redistributing the video out to the different locations. So you don't have to worry about like, do I need more bandwidth for multiple streaming? Nope. It's just that one stream. Yeah, if it's handling 1080p streaming to YouTube, just stream at 1080p. And if you're having running issues, use 720p.
Yep, that's good. Asia on Facebook said, "Auto switch is my first love." If you want to see some great examples of using Switcher, you should head over to Twitch and check out Asia in the kitchen. She cooks, she does art. Sometimes she plays some video games. Right there. So that's right there. She is awesome. So you should go check her out. Give her.
She's also a Switcher team member.
She is, but she's also awesome. Okay.
She's just also awesome. We can say that.
Hey, if you're just joining us, we'd love to answer your questions. Drop them in the comments. Dan and I do this every Monday, either on the main page, which you might be watching it now, or in the Switcher Studio Enthusiast group on Facebook. That's for the more tenured users, more technical users, showing off their stuff, asking questions. But also you can watch us on YouTube every week. I'd love for you to drop your questions. Also, I'd love for you to give our app a review in the App Store.
Yes.
Claire, if you can post the link for that, that would be super dope. Love for you to go there, just give us a review. We want to make things better for you, and giving a review will not only help us reach more people, but also hopefully be able to address the issues you think or whatever you think we might need to do differently. So that would be super cool.
I'm liking all these conversations around the different phones people are using. I agree with David here saying the 6s look great and really good lighting. They look excellent, but it's when I feel like that's the case with just older devices in general. As they've gotten better, they're able to adapt to the different lighting better. Where like the older devices, great lighting, looks great, but you start getting dark or something, it starts getting a little grainy.
Yep. And I will say, like, lighting is huge. We talk about this a lot, but making sure you have the appropriate lighting, like that can make your cameras go from looking like garbage to like looking very clean and crisp. So just making sure you have the light in the appropriate spots. For me, I have a light at 10 and 2 focus right here. I know I have a DSLR camera, but if I don't have those, like I look really grainy, washed out, and if it's too close. So just being very thoughtful about where you place your camera or your lights. Mess around with it. Play around with it.
I took a video. I'll send that to Claire after this, and I took an image. I think a little bit back like of my setup here. So I'll send those to Claire. Check out on our social. Maybe she'll post that in a little bit. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I've never really thought of it. I'm at like 11 and 1:30, 2 o'clock, or where my lights are. Yeah, I have 2 ring lights up there. Getting them higher and kind of, or like at least eye level, you don't want them like shining up from below, or else you get that like Dr. Evil look like an angry villain or something. I'm getting through. Okay, yeah. Here's a good feature request. Cough. Adam, I'm saved. I'm good. Don't worry about it.
Please give him a pat on the back. All right. It looks like Todd had some comments that we missed up here. On Facebook. Scrolling up here. Let's see if I can get to the first one. Wait for it. Okay, submitted a feature request, but would love to have a full screen HDMI AirPlay output option for the comments tab, only for pastors, presenters to be able to respond from a monitor without a separate laptop or device.
Really interesting. That's a really interesting idea. So instead of like, because you can output like the full switcher interface, but you're talking about just the comments part. So people, that's a really interesting idea. I had never thought of that. Yeah, we'll definitely share that with the team and fill out that feature request. But I think that's I don't know how likely it is because I'm not as smart as our engineers, but we can hopefully do something.
And there was one more here. My screen jumped down. Can you add a feature to scroll or have part 2 to comments that don't fit on the screen? 1 of 2, 2 of 2.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's another one.
Like if you haven't already, like absolutely do the feature request.
Yeah. I don't know how possible that is with what we're able to pull from Facebook and YouTube, but it might be something we can look into.
Yeah. Cool. All right, some more questions here.
This one here from Tyrome: can you place a mic on one of your camera other than your main camera? Audio with switcher has to be run through the main iOS device, so it will have to be that one. That's the workflow right now. We're always trying to make switcher better, and this is something that's been talked about. So it might be something we introduce way down the road, but I know audio mixing is something that is being talked about or has been asked about a lot. So right now you're gonna have to get all your mics either through a mixer and then into the main iOS device, or just use.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If you use director mode, it captures the audio from those devices. Is that?
It does. So director mode, you can capture audio from that. That's not going to be heard live. What's heard live is and recorded live is just going to be shown through whatever's seen in that upper right section or like the live screen in Switcher Studio. However, if you were trying to just do a production afterwards that you're editing with, you could turn director mode on and have those be captured there as well. Good question.
Okay. I have a question here on YouTube from murfreesboro.com. Hey guys, any luck with the audio cutting out about 5 seconds into a live stream and then coming back on, but with a delay? The audio and video are about 5 seconds off from one another at that point.
I have not heard of this.
I think I have heard that this is the bug that happens to some people. I might be completely wrong here.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
The audio is a little bit delayed. I think you and I actually had an issue a few weeks ago on Facebook where it wasn't major. It wasn't 5 seconds. That sounds like a lot. But if you haven't already, write into support at switcherstudio.com, and we can hopefully figure something out for you, or at least work on something to help you later.
Yes.
Nothing yet.
Support at switcherstudio.com.
Yep.
If you can, use the same email that you use to create your Switcher Studio account, because that helps us be able to look up things on your end to make sure everything's going well. But that is 100% where I would start with this one, because I don't think I'm going to be able to fix it right now. But good question, and thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, ask your questions. We'd love to answer them.
This is another one that could be an interesting, video or something. Best way to create and import graphics-based assets during a live stream. The way I would do it is I would have somebody with a computer next to me creating those graphics and then uploading them to the Switcher Cloud. And then because the Switcher Cloud is going to automatically update. And then in Switcher, if I come over here, you'd come to the plus tab and you have like the Switcher Cloud here, and that's going to have all of these assets here. And as they're uploading them, you can like swipe and see them show up, and you'll be able to download them and bring them in, just like that. So great question. That's the way I would do it right now. Other ways, if you had iOS screen sharing on, you could just have, use that computer screen almost as a graphic or something. So create the graphic, display it on screen as that graphic, and then take it down and then create the new one and keep going back to that source that way.
Nice. One I missed here from Fisherman in a Box on YouTube. Speaking of coughing, how about a handheld remote mute button for those unexpected coughs?
How bad was it? Are you guys, am I like blowing people's ears out coughing?
No, it wasn't that bad. But I know that the remote mute is something that has been talked about. Definitely have seen quite a few of you asking for that. So I can't say it's happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe eventually. So be on the lookout. But your cough was fine. Your cough was
Okay.
fine.
Well, I see, Chris, you're Dan trying to break the space-time continuum by waving his hands to explain reinforced Wi-Fi. Let's not save that one. That's not my proudest moment. Man, it's only March. I guarantee you, if you all tune in, I'm gonna do much worse between now and the end of the year.
On YouTube, we have time for a few more questions here. So if you haven't asked your question, please ask your question. From Carlos Tacos, how many destinations can I multi-stream on one live? You see it there?
Yep, cool. I got it up here. So by default, you can do 2. We do have some more pro subscriptions that let you do more than that. But right now, we find most people are doing YouTube and Facebook. So
right.
That's what we have now. Mind you, if you wanted to do multiple Facebook pages, check out cross-posting, because you can create that handshake and send that video out to tons of pages.
You can cross-post and multi-stream. Is that?
Yep.
Am I right? Yes.
Yep.
So you can send it to a bunch of different Facebook pages and YouTube or wherever. If you get the upper tier level of the subscription, I think it's 5 places you can multi-stream to.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Yep.
Sorry, I was reading more comments.
No, you're good. Oh, I see some about scrolling text.
I think Asia signed into the into the Switcher YouTube channel.
Oh man.
But no, I see Todd here. Any response to my 2 chat/comment questions? We just got those ones.
Yep.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I see some for scrolling texts, and this is something we definitely hear about fairly often. If you haven't done a feature request, please do so. Dan, you've shown a couple ways to put text on screen, but there are some workarounds, but it's just not an easy workaround. It's not okay. It's not difficult. It's just more work.
It's more or less screen sharing and using like a multi-view to create the effect of scrolling text. And I don't have that set up right now, unfortunately, to show. I wasn't expecting that one.
Sorry, you'll always be prepared.
But yeah, scrolling text is something we see. Again, use that feature request link to let us know, or to let the engineers know, especially.
Here's one on Facebook from Steve Lewis. Are there any other hotkeys on a Bluetooth keyboard other than the number keys changing camera angles?
That's it for right now.
Yeah, that's all I'm aware of.
Yeah. You can, if you have the preview window enabled, I know like just going 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9 will switch the preview, and then you can like do enter in 1, I think it is, to send them live automatically. But yeah, just that right now.
Awesome.
Good question. People still, man. Let's see the coffin coming through. We're not gonna, sure, we'll make a reel of Matt and I being idiots on the live streams.
Oh man.
I see like stuff about the comment bubbles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I think that's something I don't know how much control we have over. Again, we can look into this and see, but I think there's like some limitations the way we're able to pull the data from Facebook and YouTube. So we're not able to do a ton with it.
I guess you could, I'm trying to think through this. You could make an overlay that you clicked before you clicked a Facebook comment. So it looked like it changed the bubble. I would have to mess with that.
I see some stuff talking about more audio, like regulate the audio in real time. Mm-hmm. Not the next version, but we're talking about some options in here and things we can do. So like you have some functionality over the audio. I can show you here in the audio tab. You can come in and you can boost the audio here if you needed to. You can route it if you're doing stereo audio and it's not showing up correctly. Mm-hmm. So there are like some very minute stuff, but we're exploring some options for the future, but it definitely is not going to be like the next one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here.
There's the okay, yeah. For those longtime Switcher fans will remember early on in the pandemic, I was doing a live stream, and just the entire time there was a wasp just like floating around, just hanging out on my light, and I'm like, if you look, I'm constantly like looking up, like, is it coming? And it was like doing its own thing, and then like I'm doing the wrap up, and it flies right at my face.
It was trying to say goodbye.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man. Okay, we'll get a couple more here, and if we don't get to your question, please put it in the group, put it on here on YouTube. We'll try to come back and give it an answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna if we're not getting to yours, I promise. I promise we're not like overlooking it. I see stuff coming through here like like this remote mute and audio fade on trim segments. Like there's a lot of feature requests in here, and just use that link and we'll see what's possible, or get that stuff to our engineers. They're constantly looking at that and they're using that data to make decisions on what they're working on next. So definitely, but I'm going to try, and if we can scroll through, look for some more full on questions. I don't know if you've seen any talking here.
Asking for a step-by-step. I'm putting comments on the screen. Do you have that set up to show?
Okay.
It's from Vinny here on Facebook. Screen? Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. This just for you guys. I will do it.
Let's just do it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll do it.
Share your screen.
I'm going to hold on. So I'm going to add another camera input.
He's doing it. It's happening.
And
this is kind of the beauty of Switcher, honestly, being able to just add a camera on the fly like Dan's doing right now.
Hey, yeah, I can do this. I'll just say.
Oh yeah, the reflection's fine.
Yeah, there you go. You guys can see real good, right? Reflection will work for you.
No, I can't see anything.
Here you go. Say hi to yourselves, guys. No, comments are will show up right down here in this comments tab down here. So like you have these other ones down here. I'm just on the comments, and if I come through and just scroll, I can I can say like understand, thanks, thumbs up. Will there ever be an option to live stream at 1080p? You can do that. We're streaming right now at 1080p. You have to go into the Switcher Studio dashboards and go to experimental features and enable 1080p streaming there. So yeah, just tapping on them here. You'll see the scrolling up. You see a blue star there next to it. That means it's been shown or you favorited it. And yeah, that's it. That's
and then the red is YouTube and the blue is Facebook. Correct.
Solo. Yep. Okay, we're back.
Hello. Great questions. Dan, you should always be ready for that.
I know. I feel like that's going to come through every time.
You may just need like a little like desk tripod or something like that, like facing right at it.
Yeah, it's really just set up your live stream and then go over to that comments tab, the one that looks like a chat bubble. You're good to go.
All right. Club and Mag here on YouTube asking, using the iRig Duo, audio only goes to one side. Can I fix that in Switcher? I think that's a mono versus stereo issue. Is that right?
So that's actually what I just showed. Where is this? Boy. Well,
YouTube.
Let's just pretend that I found that comment. I put it on screen.
Oh, there it is. Oh, good. Perfect.
Good job, everybody. We did it. So yeah, in this audio, so that's what this, if you come into the gear option, you can choose that routing. I believe we'll do it. So like left to mono will take, if it's coming through that left channel, it will just double duplicate that left channel and put it on the right channel as well. So, and same thing for the right. So check the routing in here and swap those out if you're using the iRig Duo to see if that fixes that problem for you. Good question.
Yep. Cool. Anything else you want to hit here, Dan, before we wrap up?
I think
we're trying to keep it a little bit longer. We were doing 30 minutes, but we want to make sure we get to as many questions as we possibly can. So the plan is to do 45 minutes ish, up to an hour, depending on you all.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fisherman in a Box.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I think that's going to be good here. This is our first over 30-minute one. So we realized we're getting a lot of questions on these and wanted to make sure we got to everybody. So, yeah.
And if your question did get answered, please, you can drop it in the group. We're going to try to go back and just answer them in the chat here as best we can. Sometimes it's not Facebook doesn't make it easy to find comments all the time. So we'll do our best. But yeah, thanks, Dan.
Again, yeah. If we didn't answer your questions, support at switcherstudio.com.
Right. Also that.
Check it out. And yeah, I'll let you kind of do I'll start the outro music and let you kind of wrap us up.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us and asking your questions. Really, we want to do these to benefit you. We want to make sure that you all have better live streams. If you haven't already joined our Discord, the link's here in the chat. Also, head over to the Apple Store and give us a review on the App Store. We would love it if you did that. And yeah, also show off your live streams. I want to see what you all are doing. I want to see what you're doing with the knowledge that you've gained somehow, and hopefully someone else can learn from you. So Dan, thanks for your knowledge. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. We will see you all next week. Appreciate you all.
Hey, review the app in the App Store if you like it, or don't. Just let us know what you think. See y'all later.
Bye.